In this video, we're going to look at how to use some of the shortcuts in Excel and how to edit a worksheet. The first shortcuts are simply going to be navigation shortcuts where we simply work around the data that's in Excel. So there I can just hold Control and hit the down arrow, and then that will allow me to move to the end of the contiguous set of cells. If I want to select cells or arrange, I can hold down the Shift key and use the arrow keys. So here I'll want to select cells one at a time. And that allows me to select that range. If I have a larger set of data and I want to do that on a broader scale, I can hold down Control, Shift, and then use the arrows. And that allows me to select those contiguous cells. There are some basic functions that are used throughout Excel that are in most Microsoft programs, and I'll go through those now. They will be copy, cut, paste, undo, and redo. So if I want to copy, I can just hold down Control and hit the letter C. That one you can remember because copy starts with the letter C. If I want to paste it, I hold down Control and hit the letter V as in Victor. And I remember paste because the V looks like the spot where you want to paste something. I want to put it right where the bottom of that V is. So Control and the letter V as in Victor. And then you'll still see that I have cell A27, in this case selected. I can hit Escape to undo that. If I want to cut, I can use Control and X, and that looks like a pair of scissors. Again, where I use the paste function there. If I want to undo an action, I can hold down Control and hit the letter Z, like a zigzag. Like I want to go back over my tracks. And if I want to redo something, I can hold down Control and the letter Y. There's a few other shortcuts, and that is to format the cells with bold, italic, and underlined text. Control and the letter B is bold. I can undo that operation by selecting bold again. If I want to italicize that text, I can hold down Control and hit the letter I. And underline is Control and the letter U. I can also navigate between these worksheets within this workbook as well by holding down Control and making use of page up and page down. You'll notice that by pressing Control and page up, I'll move to the left on the worksheets. And Control and page down, I'll move to the right with the worksheets. If I want to add or delete columns, I can do that as well. First, I'm going to go back to cell A1. And if I go to cell B1, I'm going to select an entire column by holding down Control and the space bar. And that will select that entire column. If I want to select a row, I can hold down Shift and then hit the space bar. The way I think of it is that the space bar seems like a whole bunch of cells put together. But in this case, if I want to insert a column here, I can select the column and then use some shortcut keys as well. So there I've activated the entire column. And then if I want to, I can add a column here by holding down Control, Shift, and hitting the plus sign, which is just to the left of the backspace key. You don't want to use the one that would be next to a number pad. You want to use the one above the letters. And that's going to insert a column. And at this point, if I wanted to remove that row because it's the last thing I did, I can just undo that by holding down Control and hitting the letter Z. If I want to remove that column, another way to do it is to select that column. And then I can hold down Control and hit the minus button, which is just to the left of that plus and equal sign button. It's right above the letter P on your keyboard. And that's going to delete that column. Another feature that Microsoft has built in is the ability to get to those menu options at the top using shortcut keys as well. And to start that, you hit the Alt key. You'll notice that there's letters at the top that correspond with those different tabs. And now, for example, if I wanted an option on the Home tab, I could select H. And now within the Home tab, I have all of the options that are available on the Home tab. And if I wanted to format that column, I could. Or if I wanted to format a particular cell, that would work as well. Here I can adjust the height or the width of the column. So for example, I could adjust the column width by hitting the letter W. And maybe I can make this to 12. I can also auto-fit the columns using that same shortcut method. In this case, I selected the entire column and then I pressed Alt-H-O-I. In some cases, you'll get stuck in what I call alt purgatory, where you hit the wrong key and you don't know how to get out of it. So for example, if I wanted to go to the Data tab, I could hit Alt and then A. And let's say I wanted to hit data validation, but I accidentally had to hit a different key. So instead of the V, I hit the letter B. And so it gave me subtotal, so I could just hit escape here to get out of that. And then the last thing in this video is going to be grouping a set of cells or a range of cells, a column or a row. So here, if I wanted to group these columns, I could. There I grouped them using Alt-A-G-G. And then I can just select that anywhere on that bar in order to minimize that set of columns. And for me, that works a lot better than using the hide feature because it's difficult to see where those cells went. In this case, it's pretty clear that there's a group of cells here.